what do you see? When you first look at this girl, you probably notice that, one, she's a girl. Second, she's black, because those are the first two things you probably notice. You notice her hair, you know her basketball uniform, her glasses. You notice her dorky smile, the fact that she looks like Urkel. Let's be real, this girl looks a little bit like a dork. You know, you see her little skinny arms, her little head almost as big as the basketball, you know. But what you can't see are the things underneath the surface. You can't see the fact that this girl lacks a lot of confidence. You can't see the fact that this girl has a crazy desperation to fit in. You can't see that she's terrified of change, and you cannot see that she does not know who she is. You also can't see that she's a new kid. See, this girl is broken inside because she comes from a broken family. If you haven't put it together yet, this girl is me. See, I was a new kid, and 2 years prior to this, my parents sat me down, me and my younger sister, and they told me that they were getting a divorce. And immediately in that moment, I felt so many different emotions at once. I was heartbroken, I was torn apart, but the biggest thing is that it meant that things were going to change for the first time in my life. And like I said, this girl is terrified of change. See, she doesn't really know how to deal with change because she's never experienced it before until that day. And being a new kid in middle school is crazy. Coming to middle school, one, is crazy enough because it's a new routine from elementary school. Everything is new, everything is rapid. So being a new kid in middle school, I really decided that I was going to do one or two things, either make myself known or make sure I was unknown, and that's what I did. I went through middle school really just staying under the radar. I got good grades, but I didn't really do much. I played a sport, but only so I could fit in. And things didn't really begin to change for me until I got to high school. And when I got to high school, I was in this class with this teacher. His name's Aaron Donahue, and that's when things really began to change for me. I remember my first encounter with him. I was sitting in class, and we were in a circle, like a group circle, and we were doing a project, and I decided that I really didn't need to participate in the project because I felt like everyone in the group really knew what they were doing. So I decided to push my chair back, put my leg up on the desk, and I was kind of just chilling, you know, standing myself. And I remember he came up behind me, he slammed my chair down, he kicked my chair in, he said to me, "You leaning out like that not only blocks your potential, but it also blocks the potential of the people around you." He said, "You have a choice. You can choose to begin to see yourself as more and the people around you as more, or you can choose to continue along the path that you're on right now." And in that moment, everything changed for me. I decided right then and there that I was done playing small and I was done just going through life. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be out there. I wanted to see myself with potential, and I also wanted to see other people with it. And because of that, it led me to join the club that they were talking about called GO. See, GO is a nonprofit that I'm a part of, and we believe in three things, three core beliefs. The first one is purpose. We believe that everyone has purpose. I have purpose, you have purpose, all of us have purpose. Our purpose might not be the same, but we all possess it. And we believe that it is our job as individuals to unlock the purpose inside of ourselves, but also unlock it inside of everyone around us. Our second core belief is community. We believe that small communities can change the world. We believe that once you find that purpose, it is important to create a community around you that shares that purpose so you guys can go along that journey together. And the third one is action. Once you have that purpose and you have that community, you can begin to create something, you can begin to build, you can begin to essentially change the world. One of the things we did, what you can see right there on the side, was one of our action pieces. We decided that one of the things we need to do, one of the purposes that we had was we needed to bring people's stories up, like show people that there's more to people than you see, like kind of like I showed you. There's more to me underneath the surface than there is on the outside. So we decided to do that. So once I chose to step out of my comfort zone, once I chose to like take the next step to be more, the second step was to make the choice of if I was going to fight for other people or not. And I decided, yes, I was going to make that choice. So when I made the choice to begin to fight for others, one of the groups I decided that I wanted to fight for were African American males. I decided this because I feel that, like me, they have the same kind of struggles that I had through middle school to high school. And those three things I believe are identity, power, and voice. I struggle with my identity, I struggle with the power within myself, and I struggle with having a voice. And I believe that African American males experience that same thing, either because society or because no one sees the power in them or the voice that they have. So I decided that I was gonna fight for them. And I'm saying past tense, but fight for them now. So one way I did that was, one thing that I have done, I created African American male book club at my school. And it's really not about the book, it's really about creating an avenue and a space for these young males to get together and have open discussions that they don't usually have outside of the group. They talk about different things like life stuff like that, but they also sit around with the teachers in our group as well and have real conversations with them, talking about like what they feel, how they feel in school, how they feel that some teachers don't respect them or that they learn this way or that way. And it's created a lot of great conversation, not only in the school, but in the group. And these kids are really beginning to see themselves as leaders, which is something that has never happened for them before. And not only are they seeing themselves as leaders, the people in the school are beginning to see them as leaders. I've also seen them begin to not only see themselves as leaders, but begin to empower other people. They begin to get underclassmen involved. And for once, they're actually putting together an event, which is really, really great to me because in the beginning, they didn't see themselves as leaders, but now they're running an event. So once I chose to step out of my comfort zone and be more, I then chose to fight for others. And I want to share a couple more examples of people who have done that as well. This is Christian. Christian is a senior at my high school, like me. And right off the bat, when you look at Christian, you see this perfect white kid. Christian has straight A's, AP student, excels in sports, has all the friends, you know, he looks like he has everything together. But what a lot of people don't know about Christian is that he came to our high school his sophomore year because he had to get away from his mom in Canada. See, him and his mom his freshman year, they got into a heated argument. And the argument ended with his mom telling him, "I wish I never had you. You're worthless." Sorry. So what people don't know is Christian goes through school and goes through life trying to be perfect because he's trying to impress his mom. He's trying to show his mom that he's not worthless, that he's worthful, but no one knows that. And because of that, he's constantly trying to excel. He's trying to show his mom something, but he still feels empty inside until he made the choice to stop and see himself as worthful. He realized that his mom wasn't going to give him that worth, that he had to give himself that worth. And when he finally made that choice to see it in himself, he can make the choice to help others see it in themselves as well. Sorry. So one thing that he's done now, after he made the choice to begin to see himself as worthful, he takes his friends out of worthless situations like drinking or going to do drugs, and he takes them, he says, "Hey, like, let's sit down and just have a meaningful conversation. Like, let's get to know each other more on a deeper level." He also made the choice and took the risk to go to Haiti, which is something really big that we do at our school. And through that, not only did he begin to see himself as even having more worth, but he saw other people as worthful as well. This is Rita. Rita is also a senior in my school. She's also my best friend. And as you can see from the picture, Rita has a huge personality. She also has ADD, which really doesn't help her in school at all with the energy, plus with that, if anyone knows, like, people with ADD, it really doesn't help that much. So she cannot sit down for 8 hours at school at all. So because of that, right off the bat, she was given the label of the bad kid. And she was given that label, and she really did play into it. 8th grade year, she failed all her classes. She was projected to go to our alternative high school, but somehow, because of messed up papers, she ended up at our high school. And coming to high school, she still was seen as the bad kid. But it wasn't until she made the choice in herself to stop seeing herself as it that things really changed for her. She started taking AP classes. She started to put herself out there. She started to see the worth inside herself instead of seeing herself as a bad kid. When she stopped seeing herself as a bad kid, I began to see her, and she began to see herself as a leader, to the point where during the summer she works, she volunteers at a camp, which consists of kids in our district who are projected as the lower statistic. They don't have the best grades, so they get summer school help. And she works there, volunteer work, just to work with these kids, as you see in the picture, and showing them that they aren't their grades and they aren't the labels that they're given, they're more than that. And she really has been working with them to really like pull out their potential like someone pulled out hers. This is my sister, and to be honest with you guys, this is the whole reason why I'm here. See, my sister is a 7th grader. Her name's Naya. She's 13 years old, and she is one of the most wisest, creative, intelligent person I know. But see, the problem is her label is ghetto. And if people don't know what that label is, basically this means that people see her as either less than or obnoxious, loud. People think kind of that she's like a waste of space because that's what the label ghetto is. But see, like I said, I see her as so much more. Like, she's not that label. She is so much more to me. She is courageous and brave and compassionate and caring. But see, the problem is that people will not see that when we label someone, we don't see them for all that they are. We only see them for that one thing. And what frustrates me is that when she gets to high school, I won't be there, and I won't be able to see her as more. I won't be able to show people all that she has to offer, that I'm not going to be there to help her and guide her. And what also makes me upset is that she's not the only one that gets to high school that's going to go unseen. There's people right now in high school that go unseen. When we walk through the halls, we see people and we write them off. We say, yeah, I'm not going to talk to her. She's a slut. I can't do that. That's going to ruin my reputation. Or, oh, man, they're a theater kid. I can't deal with that because, they're weird. Like, we write people off. We keep on walking. We go on our own little direction, not really worrying about anyone else because we're so consumed by our own lives and our own problems that we don't worry about the people around us. And I believe that is the problem, that we need to begin to see others as more and see ourselves as more. So you have the choice. You have the choice to either continue on the path of average, to continue doing what you're doing, to continue to just live for yourself, get your own, do what you have to do, or you can choose to be exceptional. And the thing is, all of us in this room have the power and have the potential to be exceptional. We have the power to take a risk and to see others as something more. We have the power to choose to begin to see ourselves as more and to fight for someone else. We don't have to continue down the path of average. We can choose to be exceptional because we all are champions. We all have the ability to fight for someone else. We all have the ability to advocate for another. I am here to kick in your chair and tell you that you playing small in this world is benefiting no one. That you need to make the choice to begin to see yourself as more and to begin to see others as more. It is unacceptable that when my sister gets to high school, no one would see her as the champion that she is. It is unacceptable that people saw Rita as a bad kid for most of her life. It is unacceptable that Christian sees itself as worthless. We need to begin to see people as more. It is unacceptable that we go through our life living average instead of exceptional. It is unacceptable. And you have the choice to begin to be a champion. You have the choice to begin to be exceptional. It is in all of us. It is in every single one of us in this room, every single one of us outside of this room, and it is your choice. Thank you.